They erased her name, they buried her story, rewrote her legacy, and for centuries, the world let them. But history has a way of surviving. Her name was Ninga Bande Queen, warrior diplomat, the most dangerous woman the Portuguese Empire ever encountered. This is the story they never wanted you to know. In the year 1583, Central Africa, the Kingdom of Ndongo, present-day Angola, the Mbundu people have built something extraordinary here. Sophisticated trade networks, a powerful military, a civilization that has thrived for generations, but something is closing in from the west. The Portuguese, for decades, raiding, capturing, selling. Thousands of Mbundu people loaded onto ships and swallowed by the Atlantic, never to return. The kingdom is under siege, everyone knows it. It is into this world, this constant state of terror and resistance, that Nzinga Mande is born, daughter of King Kiluanji, and from her very first years, her father sees something in her that he sees in nobody else. Not just intelligence, not just courage, a will that cannot be broken. He trains her personally, military strategy, statecraft, diplomacy, as if he already knows the war that is coming will lead exactly her. By 1622, Nzinga's brother is now king, weak, desperate, losing ground fast to the Portuguese. So he sends his sister alone to negotiate a peace treaty with the Portuguese governor in Luanda. No army, no guards, just Nzinga. Just her mind. She walks into the governor's hall and immediately a trap, on and chair, for him. Nothing for her. The message is deliberate. You are beneath me. Stand. Like a subject, like someone who has already lost. Nzinga looks at the room. She looks at him. And then she does something nobody in that hall has ever seen. She signals to one of her attendants. The attendant kneels on all fours. And Nzinga slowly, calmly, sits on their back, elevated, composed. Equal, the room goes silent. The governor doesn't know what to do. In that silence, Nzinga begins to negotiate. By the end of that meeting, she has secured Portugal's withdrawal from Ndongo, the return of captured Mbundu people, full recognition of her kingdom's sovereignty. In one afternoon, no weapons, no army, just pure brilliance. The governor left that room. He had underestimated her. The whole world would make that mistake. The Portuguese break every term of the treaty. Then her brother dies, under circumstances never fully explained. Nzinga moves, she becomes queen, and she will hold power for the next 4 decades. When the Portuguese drive her out of Ndongo, she doesn't collapse. She moves east, conquers the kingdom of Matamba, rebuilds from nothing. She allies with the Dutch, trains escaped slaves as soldiers, fights battles personally, in full armor, well into her 60s. Warrior when she needs to be, diplomat when the moment demands, symbol when her people need something to believe in. She is never one thing. She is always exactly what the situation requires. That is her greatest weapon. By the 1640s, everything is aligned. Nzinga's forces from inland, the Dutch navy from the coast, a coordinated strike that could finally, after decades of resistance, end Portugal of Angola. The Portuguese are retreating, the Dutch are advancing. Victory is within reach, and then the Dutch leave. Political changes in Europe, new priorities. The ships turn and sail away, and 60 years of resistance watches its best chance disappear into the horizon. Any other leader would have collapsed. Nzinga negotiates. In 1657, at 74 years old, she signs a new treaty, not from defeat, from calculation. She has protected her people, preserved her kingdom, forced the most powerful colonial empire in the world to respect her twice. That is not failure, that is victory. Nzinga dies in 1663. She is 80 years old. Today she stands in bronze in the heart of Luanda, Angola's capital. Not a statue of defeat, a statue of a woman mid-negotiation, seated, powerful, unbroken. But ask most people outside Africa who she was, and you will get silence. Not in the history books, not taught in schools. A woman who ruled for 40 years and fought one of the greatest empires in history, quietly erased from the version of history the world is given. Why? Because her story is dangerous. It proves African civilizations were sophisticated and politically brilliant. It proves colonization was not welcomed. It was resisted, brilliantly, fiercely, for generations. It destroys the lie that Africa had no history worth remembering. History is written by those who win, but the truth doesn't die. It waits in bronze statues, in oral traditions, in archives that were never meant to be opened. That is what Hidden Archive exists for. Every week, one story, one civilization, one truth the world was never told. Subscribe, share this video, and help us open the archive wider, because the history they bear is deeper.